who's in denial about my reality, or I'm someone who doesn't want to accept my reality. You know, I just can't accept my reality. I'm an in denial person, and this tends to affect my progress in life. What must I do then? When we come into the context of success, the reason why some people cannot become successful is because they're having internal conflict, right? They are forever having this internal conflict about, I shouldn't be in this place. I should be somewhere else. I shouldn't be living this kind of life. I should be living a better life. Of course, you are right. You are right. As people, we deserve to live better lives. We deserve to progress in our lives. We deserve to achieve our goals. So those are very, very important questions. But you can't dwell in the questions. You can't dwell in the conflict. So what happens is many people dwell in the conflict. Well, you know what? I'm not a good enough person. I don't deserve great things. I don't think I can ever achieve those goals. So there's this internal conflict that affects your progress negatively. So you can't go forward because you're forever focusing on the battle that is happening inside of you. Now, that happens in most cases, it happens when your reality is not what you want it to be. So the life that you are living is not the life that you actually want. So sometimes you're like, nah, this can't be me. I can't be failing. It's not me. It's not me. I can't be making such bad decisions. This is not me. It doesn't reflect who I am. Please listen to me very carefully. Sometime in life, you're going to make bad decisions. You're going to be exposed to negative situations that don't reflect the person that you are. You're going to be exposed to things that you do not want because we are humans and we live in this life that sometimes is unpredictable. But the most important thing is you need to control how you respond, and you need to be very careful on how you respond when you find yourself in such a situation or circumstance. When you find yourself in a reality you do not want, you need to be careful how you respond. The worst way to respond is being in denial. Not acknowledging that you are in this place. I'm not saying you should accept it as it is. What I'm saying is that you need to acknowledge the fact that, you know what, I'm now on level two. And since I'm on level two, this is what I need to do to get to level three. And this is what I need to do to get to level four. Now, let me show you something. If you are in denial and you just don't want to acknowledge your position right now in life, for example, if as a doctor I'm telling you, hey, you need to be careful. Um, you might experience a sickness because of the diet that you eat. You have two choices. You can either say, you know what, I'm not going to accept this. I'm going to continue with my diet. I'm just going to continue. And what's going to happen is that you're going to develop a sickness, right? And then it's going to affect the quality of your life, right? It's your choice. And then the second choice would be, okay, I need to acknowledge the fact that my diet is wrong and I can control my diet, right? So you can control your diet so that you find yourself in a place where you are healthy and you're not sick, right? Now, when you don't acknowledge that your diet is messing up, your health, then you're not going to do anything about it. So what I'm saying is that when you are in denial, you're not going to do anything about anything. You are only going to have conflict within yourself. If you don't accept that, for example, you're experiencing maybe a sickness or something, you'll never take medication, right? You'll never take medication because you don't acknowledge that. So in most cases, what happens is when you are in denial that you are not where you want to be, you cannot take the steps that get you where you want to go. Instead, you're going to fight yourself. You're going to have so many mental conflicts that only destroy you, that make you feel like you are worthless and you are a nobody. So you can't move forward. It becomes worse and worse and worse. So, what are you saying now? What are you saying? Let me tell you something. Right now, acknowledge your circumstance, acknowledge your situation to say, all right, this is where I am and this is where I don't want to be. So In order for me to get where I want to be, I need to get the tools, the knowledge, the skills to get there, right? But you need to acknowledge where you are right now so that you can move forward. When you acknowledge where you are right now, it helps you to respond positively. One of the best examples is this: when you acknowledge that you want to become, you are a student, but you really want to become an accountant ASAP. You want to become an accountant so fast. You just want to see yourself, in that position in your office doing the work, but you are now a student. Okay, you acknowledge, all right, I'm now a student. And as a student, the best thing to do is I need to study more. I need to do my articles. I need to do my assignments. And then when I focus on that, I will get where I want to go. Right? So please do not become someone who's in denial. Acknowledge your position so that you can respond positively and move forward. I just wanted to fix that question and answer that question before I start with today's session. Please do not become an in denial person. Listen, I know life sometimes can just throw hard things on your way. It's okay. We are humans, and we are developed through good times and bad times. Bad times are as important as good times, and some of the bad times that you go through are going to build you, make you a resilient person, so that you can actually establish good times. Now, the other thing that I want us to going into this session is that I was talking about a mindset that is critical to your success. And if you remember, there are three fundamentals that I spoke about. I said knowledge. If you remember, I said you need knowledge. Let's say you want to pursue a career or you want to pursue something. It's important for you to go and seek information about it. Make sure that you are competent in that area because you want to establish yourself in that space. You want to become successful in that space. So you need knowledge, 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 right? And the other thing I spoke about is environment. Make sure you are in the environment that equips you, that supports you to establish your vision, that helps you to get to that outcome that you want. And the other one I said desire, right? So that is vision. You need to have a vision in your life. You need to have some desires in your life. And then what you do is you get information that equips you to fulfill your desires, to establish your desires in life. And then you go into an environment that equips you. So the people around you must be people that help you get closer and closer to your goals, right? It must be people that actually give you more knowledge on what to do so that you can become successful. Listen, when I wanted to establish myself in the mental health space, by then it was just a desire. It was just a desire. I didn't have any organization, I didn't have any information, I didn't have any network. So, what I did was okay, this desire, I want to pursue this desire because I want to help people in mental health. So, what I did is I went to seek knowledge, I went to study, right? Different institutions. I studied in different institutions. I got a mentor, you understand, who was already in that space for a long time, So I was fixing my knowledge, right? And I was fixing my environment. So I was being in places that equips me to fulfill my desire. That's why today I have a very successful mental health institution. It's not by accident, it's by practice, right? Desire, knowledge, which is information, get information that is related to your desires. And then guess what? The environment. You remember I made an example to say you go to varsity because that's the best environment to give you information that will establish you in your profession. That's why you go study. That's why you go to varsity. And it's important that in everything else in your life, you need to be careful of that. It's okay. This is what I want. Is this the right place? Are these the right people? Will they help me get where I want to go? If not, you can't be surrounded by those people. You need to make sure that you are very careful about your surrounding, about the information that you are taking in, and you need to ensure that they are in alignment with your desires, right? So today we're going to talk about something very interesting, which is your instinct factors of success, and your also external factors of success, your internal factors of success, and also the external factors of success. This is what I'm about to say is so important. Please remember this. Who you are as a person will determine whether you're going to become successful or not. So everything about you, your internal factors as a person, will determine whether you're going to become a successful person or not. So I'm talking about your values. I'm talking about your qualities. I'm talking about your abilities, your capabilities. I'm talking about your mindset. Everything that is inside, right, will determine whether you're going to become successful or not. The things that are outside are simply responding to the person that you are, right? Life will always respond to the person that you are. Although sometimes, as I say, there are unpredictable circumstances, but I need you to remember when you have a bad situation, how you respond is either going to make that situation better or is going to make it worse. So life will always respond to the person that you are. So if you want to become successful as a person, you need to first build yourself. You need to build your mindset. You need to develop your values, right? You need to ensure that your values are right. You need to ensure that you have the right capabilities, skills, talents, for the success that you want. It's very, very important. So those are internal factors. And when we talk about external factors, we're simply talking about everything that the world offers. When we talk about internal factors, it's everything that you offer. But when we talk about external factors, it's everything that the world offers. Now, these are platforms, these are opportunities, this is community. All of those things, all of those external factors respond to internal factors, to the person that you are. Who you become is so important in your life's journey, right? Who you become as a person, right? Because it will determine whether you're going to have a high quality life or a low quality life. Now, let us first start by defining what is success. Remember, success is different from person to person, but there are three common factors that needs to be there. Success, people define it differently, but these three factors must always be there in order for your success to be complete. Number one is that it's you establishing your potential, right? So you're expressing the person that you are, your ideas, your values. You express your potential, right? You express your potential, and you have resources. So as you express your potential, you gain resources. So this is money, this is assets, and then you are fulfilled, right? So you are at peace, you are a joyful person, right? So those are the three things that are important for your success. Number one is that you are expressing your potential in life, right? Your capabilities, your ideas, you express yourself as a person in this life, right? And then in the process of expressing yourself, you gain resources, financial freedom, you gain money, you gain assets, right? As you continue, this journey fulfills you and it makes you a very joyful person. So you are satisfied with the life that you are living. Now, here you are. Let's say you express your potential, right? But you're not making money. Sooner or later, that journey is going to bother you. Sooner or later, you're going to give up in that journey because you don't want to give and give and give in life, but you don't get anything in return. So you want to give value, but you also want to receive value, right? Because that's how life works. You give value, and in return, you receive value. I've seen many people that have great potential, many people that are so wonderful, guys, people that are skilled, people that are wonderful, giving so much to the world, but receiving very, very less. And they stopped giving to the world. They stopped pursuing, their vision. They stopped, expressing their potential because they were not getting returns. They were not getting any value back. So sometimes, and this is a common mistake that people make. They say, yeah, you know what? I just want to give, and just be a giver and just give. Let me tell you, you can't give from an empty cup. That's why it's crucial as you are giving, in return, you also receive value. And it's your responsibility to ensure that you do not just give without receiving value in return, right? I love my work also when it comes to mental health, but it's my passion, is my desire. But I don't go to, to those to our centers, to give training, to give counseling, and get nothing for it. No, 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 no. As I go and do this work, I get value in that. People respect the work that I do. They appreciate the work that I do. And you know what they do is, you know what, I'm gonna pay a price for this. This is it. I just want to see myself better. Now, I'm a young person, and I wanna encourage you. I've seen this with my business partners, seen this with many people. If you don't get value in return, you are gonna worn out soon. You're gonna burn out, right? You might find yourself in a space where you hate your own, potential, where you hate your own work because you don't receive enough value. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. In one of the researches that we've made, when it comes to workplaces and why there's such a great gap between management and employees, why organizations are not becoming so successful, is because the employees are not satisfied with the value that they receive from the organization, yet they put so much work. So don't find yourself in that space being the type of person who's giving, 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 but not getting anything in return. Right? So those are the three fundamentals. You must express yourself, your potential. We are in this life for a purpose, right? And that purpose is you need to express yourself. You need to live everything that is inside out. Your ideas, your decisions, your values, your dreams. That is the purpose of life, right? You are here to express the unique person that you are, right? And we are waiting. We are waiting on you to express yourself. The world is waiting to experience your capabilities. It is waiting to experience your potential, right? When you look at life, everything that you see, whether it's buildings, whether it's corporates, you are actually looking at people's ideas that came to life. Those are people's ideas that came to life, right? And today we enjoy these beautiful houses, we enjoy these beautiful cars, we enjoy these beautiful things around the world, but we are simply enjoying other people's ideas that came to life, right? So the world wants to experience and enjoy your potential. It's on you, right? Give us what you have. Express yourself. The world is actually waiting on you. Stop doubting yourself like this. You have your own, specific background. You have your own capabilities. You are unique the way you are. The world is simply waiting on you to express yourself. Come, be authentic, right? Express your ideas, express your vision, express your values, right? We are waiting on you and we want to enjoy that. We want to buy your products, we want to buy your services. The world has so much needs, guys. It's simply waiting on you. So let's not make success something so complicated. It becomes complicated when we don't know who we are. So you need to know who you are. To say, you know what, I'm this person. I like these things. I'm interested in these things. So I'm going to focus on that. Right? Now, I wanted to start by being inspirational first to inspire you to say, look, 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 look. We are waiting on you. Hey, we are waiting on you. We are waiting for you to become that successful doctor. We are waiting for you to become that successful businessman or woman. We are waiting for you to become that successful parent, that successful spouse, so that you can come and give us ideas, come and guide us to how do we do it. We are waiting on you to build that successful family. We are just waiting for you. This world really is waiting for your potential to be established. So don't doubt yourself. Embrace your uniqueness, but ensure that you are someone who is competent. You build your knowledge, you build your skills so that you can always deliver. That is so critical, so that you can always deliver. So those are the three fundamentals of success. In your success journey, you need to express your full potential, right? And you need to gain value, you need to gain money out of that, and you need to be satisfied and fulfilled of your journey. That is success. So when you look at expressing your potential, I said it's about purpose. Is doing what you really desire, right? In life, sometimes you'll do things that are necessary, but ensure that you do things out of a necessity, but they are leading you to things that you really want to do, right? I know people will talk about you can't follow your passion, you can't follow your, those things. I want you to understand that people that say that are people that succeeded outside of their passion. And they truly believe that if you follow your passion, you're not going to succeed. But truth is, if you follow your passion and you know how to systemize your passion so that it actually brings you money in return, you're going to be satisfied and you are going to succeed. I know thousands of people that have succeeded in different areas in their lives, but they still hate it because they did not go through with what they truly desire. You have only one life. You have only one chance. If you don't do what you desire, then that is your problem. But let me tell you, you can succeed in thousands of things as long as you know that one thing that you truly want and you're not successful in that area. It will stress you, it will frustrate you, right? Because you know what you want. So it's better to fail in something that you truly are passionate about, right, than failing in something that you do not want. Because whether you like it or not, every journey that you take has risk. You have a risk of succeeding and you have a risk of failing, right? Imagine failing in something that you do not want. If you fail in something that you truly want, it only gives you an opportunity to go and equip yourself even more so that you can come back, fight again, come back and fight. Fail again, go learn more, go equip yourself more, come back again. We fail so many times before we actually become successful. It's life. And I'm telling you, if you develop the attitude to say, you know what, every time I fall, I'm going to get up and I'm going to try again, you're going to become very successful. Listen, whether it's in your corporate, whether it's in your relationships, whether it's in anything, every time where there's an error, where there's a mistake, where there's a fallout, if you are always willing to say, I'm going to get up and fix this problem, you are going to become a very successful person. But be willing to get up and fight again. Be willing to get up and fix the problem. Be willing to take responsibility. Be accountable and say, okay, I'm going to do this thing right. I didn't do it right. I failed my test, but this time I'm going to study more, and I'm going to ensure that I'm going to do my best, but I'm going to study. So do the right things. It's for your own good. Right. Now let us talk about factors that are going to make you successful. The first one is please, 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 please develop your vision. When you don't have a vision, you are going nowhere in your life. So note that down. Number one is, I think you've heard this from many people, develop your vision, right? Develop your vision. Have a desired outcome. Tell yourself, go and sit down and imagine your life, right? Go and imagine your success. How does it look like? How does it feel like? Be specific about it. Be specific. Where do you live? How does your family look like? Imagine it. It's very important. Imagine your success. How does it look like? It's very critical. Go and imagine it. And then note it down on paper, note it down in your phone to say, this is my vision. This is how my life looks like in the next 10 years, in the next 5 years, in the next 3 years, in the next year. This is how it looks like. This is how I want my life to look like. All right? That is number one. And then number two is that what I spoke of. Now you go and capacitate yourself for that vision. You go and get knowledge for that vision. You go and get information for that vision. You go and ensure that you build your talent, your capacity to achieve that vision. That is the other part. And what is the next part? Ladies and gentlemen, now we are talking about your internal factors. In your internal factors, you also need to build your courage. Woo! This is so important. you need to build your courage. Courage is doing the things that you are afraid of or the things that intimidate you. Now, success sometimes will intimidate you. It will it will put you in spaces where you have to do things that you're afraid to do, right? You're going to have to make some hard decisions. You're going to have to take some hard tasks that are very, very scary sometimes. But your success is on the other side of your fears. If you are not willing to stretch yourself enough to do the things that you are afraid of, then you'll never experience success. So you need to develop your courage. There are things that you'll always be fearful for, or things that you're afraid of. But you need to do those things in order for you to get to the other side. Some people are afraid to go to varsity. Some people are afraid to start a business, yet they are passionate about those things. If you don't make the decision to pursue it, then you'll never have any success in it. It will forever be a dream, and dreams that are not achieved becomes regrets, right? And regrets lead to mental illnesses. So I'm asking you today, develop the courage to do the very same things that that intimidate you, to face them, to confront them. Develop the courage to take on hard tasks. Do not be afraid to do the hard things because your success is right there. Think hard, right? Do the hard things that people are afraid to do. Your success is there. So develop your courage. Number two is have the other part when it comes to this part is develop your faith. So believe in yourself, believe in your vision. One thing I'll tell you that I've seen in my journey and in other many people's journey is that the person that is going to believe in you the most is you. It's you. You know, of course, you might have family support, believing in you and all of those things, but you need your own faith. You need it. You need to believe in yourself. Sometimes your dreams are going to look very stupid. Sometimes your passion is going to look very, very stupid. And you might talk to some few people and they're going to laugh at you, and some are going to say, don't do this. Don't waste your time. Listen to this. You are stupid until you make it, then you are a genius. You are stupid until you make it, then you become a genius. But you will never make it without having faith in yourself and faith in your vision. So believe in yourself. I remember I was speaking in this other seminar with entrepreneurs, and I was telling them, I said, you know what? Making 10 million is not the hardest thing. The hardest thing is believing that you can actually make a 10 million. So we struggle from self-limiting beliefs, and that is a serious problem. Many people struggle from self-limiting beliefs. What? Me? I can't get there. I can't do that. If that's how you view yourself, imagine how the world views you. If you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you? If you don't believe in your vision, who's going to believe in your vision? You need to believe in yourself. You need to believe in your vision. Right? Please do yourself that favor. Please. Okay. What is the other internal factor that I want to bring to you? I spoke of have that vision, get the knowledge, right? And then I said, develop your courage, develop your faith. And the other part I want to bring is develop your resilience. Be a strong person. You need to develop your strength. And when I talk about strength, I talk about your mental strength and physical strength. What does that mean? It means when you develop the courage to deal with hard tasks, you're going to have many obstacles. And believe me, you need the strength to overcome those obstacles. If you develop the courage to face your opponent, you don't only need the courage to face your opponent, but you also need the strength to overcome your opponent. So you need to develop your strength to overcome your challenges. Be a resilient person. When something knocks you down, get up and fight back. This is your life. That's why you need to fight for it. It's your life. Fight. Do not let any system, any person stop you from achieving what you desire. Some systems will become, they will limit you. Some people will limit you, but you have the responsibility to develop your strength to overcome them, right? Sometimes it might be develop, your strength in knowledge, just to come up with strategies on how to develop your opponent, on how to overcome your opponent, I meant, right? So it's very important. Develop your mind, develop your body. Why do you need to develop your body? Why do you need to take time to exercise, to eat the right diet? Your body carries your mind. Listen, if right now you take me and you say, go run 100 meters, I can run that 100 meter. Why? Because I developed my body for it. Of course, I cannot run with the best in the world. I'll definitely become the last one. But I can run. If you say, hey, we need you to jump this, I can jump. So not only is my mind capable of enabling me to do certain things, my body can initiate those tasks. So in your journey of success, make sure that your mind is capable, but also your body is capable to carry you through. Think of sports women and men. If you want to be established in your sport, in any sport, you first need a strong mind, and then you need a body for it. If you only have a strong mind, you're gonna believe that you're the superstar who can do magic in the field. But if the body cannot allow you to do it, if you don't have the body for it, you're not gonna be able to do it. The mind will be at the right place, but the body won't be able to fulfill the task because you've never worked on your body. So if you want to become a successful person, develop your mental strength, but also develop your physical strength. Work out, guys. Take time to work on your body. It's so important. It's so important, right? Because in your journey, you're gonna have stress, and let me tell you, a strong body can help you carry stress. It doesn't only take a strong mind, but it takes a strong body too. So work on your body, not for anybody else, but for you, for your success, right? And the other part I want to bring when it comes to internal factors is hope. Be a hopeful person. Be a hopeful person. It is very, very important. Be a hopeful person. Sometimes you're going to be in a place where it looks like it cannot be solved. It looks like it cannot be fixed. It cannot be corrected. And this is where you're going to need hope. Hope is having good expectations of the future, right? So always have good expectations about your future. Don't be a negative person. Be a hopeful person, right? Even sometimes when things are slow, when things are taking time to work, when things are really, really hard and they look like they are not changing, be a hopeful person, because hope will give you the courage, or it will encourage you to keep on trying, to keep on working forward, and sooner or later it will work. Whatever you work on and you are consistent and disciplined in it will eventually work out for you, right? And the other ones, yes, are discipline, making the right decision. So there are so many internal factors. Why did I bring that to your attention? All of these internal factors, they make up your personality. They make up the person that you are. They make up your mindset. And who you are as a person determines how you respond to life. And how you respond to life determines whether you're going to become a successful person or not. So the most important thing is you need to develop yourself, because who you are determines whether you're going to become successful or not, because life only corresponds to who you are. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, do you see a successful person or not? Do you see a failure, or do you see someone who can make things happen? When you look at yourself, when you talk about yourself, do you talk about someone who's a warrior, someone who's great, or do you talk about someone who doesn't have the capabilities? Right? And remember, In all of these things, I said you must be a competent person. So you must be skillful as well. You need to develop your skills, you need to develop your talents. Because when the external factor presents opportunities to you, you need to ensure that you give it your best. You need to ensure that you do great work on that. Now, let us go to skills and let us go to external factors. Now, I'm going to this part that we all want, right? First, I say become the person, a successful person by developing your internal factors. Become that person, and life will correspond to that, right? You will become successful. Now, let's come to external factors. What can I advise you when it comes to external factors? Remember, in this world, I usually say this in different sessions that the world will give you so many things. It will give you so many platforms, so many opportunities. It will always present these things to you. It will give you so many problems as well. But you, as a person, you are the one who's going to determine I'm going to focus on this problem to fix it so that I can become successful. I'm going to focus on these things so that I can become productive in this area and become successful. It's all on you, right? But the world will give you platforms and opportunities. But now let us get this. You develop your vision, right? Here's your vision. You go and get information that equips you to ensure that you are capable to achieve that vision. And what happens is opportunities. You need to identify spaces that can accommodate your vision. Whew. It's a skill, guys, and it's important. You need to identify opportunities that are in alignment with your vision. One of these distractions that the world brings is it will give you too many opportunities that are not in alignment with your vision. So when you see it, you say, oh, this is not what I want, but at least it's something. Let me go for it. I've seen many people that have done that. I work with many people that have done that, and I'm still helping them to recover. Now, sometimes those things are not really opportunities, they're just distractions, right? But only you know. When I come to you and I present a job opportunity to you to say, hey, can you please come and become our HR person? But you know in your heart you want to become a lawyer. There's a conflict of interest. There's a conflict of purpose. There's a conflict in your vision, right? I don't know. I'm offering you an opportunity. I'm just saying, here it is. Come and work. Become an HR person. And you have a choice. I'm taking this because it's convenient for me now, right? Or I'm not going for it because in the long term, it might become a big problem. Now, you need to be very careful on this. Many things that are convenient for the now, they become a big problem in the future. They actually delay us sometimes from achieving what we truly want. And I've seen people being trapped in this convenience forever without actually going for what they want. You see? So you need to identify the right opportunities. You need to look at this world and say, where do I go? What are the right spaces for my vision and my desire? Where do I go? What must I do in order to get these opportunities? If you don't identify those opportunities, if it happens that you can't see them, there's a second question that you need to ask yourself is, okay, now that I don't see opportunities for my vision, what type of opportunities can I create for myself? What type of platforms can I build in order to accommodate my vision? Do you understand? So it's all on you. But if you are a capable person and you have this wonderful internal factors, but you don't have the platform and the opportunity to showcase, then it's useless. It's useless because you are this great person who makes the right decisions, who has the right vision, who has the right, you have discipline, you have consistency, you have all of these qualities, but without an opportunity and a platform to showcase those qualities of yours, you going nowhere. You going nowhere. So we need to actually sit down and ask ourselves, what are the opportunities out there? If I don't have opportunities, can I create opportunities for myself? And you pursue those opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, they don't come easy. You pursue them. You knock on doors. You make those calls. You go and speak. You set up those meetings. You push. You push. You pursue those opportunities. When they are presented, guess what? You are competent. You can give the best results. And someone would say, you know what? This is yours. Honestly speaking, nobody can do this better than you. You can do this. Do you understand? It's so important. You need to become such a great individual in your capabilities in pursuing your vision that when the opportunity presents itself, you give the best of the best. That nobody can take that away from you. They're gonna say, definitely, this belongs to you. This belongs to this guy. This belongs to this lady. It belongs to them. Look at the results. Guys, results do not lie. Right? When you seek opportunities, but you are not competent, you don't have the right qualities, you're going to mess those opportunities up. I was saying this to so many students, right? When I had a varsity tour, right? I said this, I said, many of you, before you came to varsity, you were so hungry to be in this platform. But now that you have it, look at many of you, look at your results, right? Where's that hunger that you had before you were here? You need to be competent for the platforms and the opportunities that you want. Right? I said, look at the results today. Why are you failing? I asked them a question. I said, why are you failing? When you wanted this platform, why are you doing this to yourself? Why become hungry for an opportunity? When you get it, you mess it up. When you get it, you take it for granted. Please don't do that. So be competent, be hungry, but also ensure when you get that opportunity, you kill it. You give it your best. You make sure that when you are finished, everybody's gonna honor you to say, yeah, definitely. This is the type of work and results that we want to see. All right. Now, and the other part I want to bring, which is the last part in the next 4 minutes, is this. In whatever creative space you want to go into, whether it's in profession, going through a specific study, getting your PhD, getting your master's, getting your degree, or is in business, become a fruitful person, a productive person. This is critical. Become a productive person. What do I mean by that? I mean, actively give value in that creative space. Always give value in that creative space. Give so much value. You already have the opportunity. Be productive and fruitful. Give value in that creative space. This is what you wanted, right? This is what you want. Be productive. Be a productive entrepreneur. Be a productive, accountant. Be a productive social worker. Be productive. Produce high quality value and give it. Now that you have the platform to do it, and do it so well. Productive people, fruitful people always succeed. Fruitful countries always succeed. When you look at China and you look at the economy 10 years, 20 years, and you study the history of the economy and you study the history of their productivity, you're going to see the moment their productivity level increased and they were starting to give products to different countries on a high level, the economy started to rise, right? So when you're productive, let me tell you, your economy, your financial well-being will also get better. So become a productive person, right? Not only do you become productive, but become productive and know how to negotiate for your value, right? It's what I said when I started. Do not give off your value for free, or do not give up your value for no value in return, but give your value for value back. So negotiate to say, listen, this is who I am, this is what I can do, this is what I offer, and this is the value that I'm looking for. Negotiate for your value. So when you become a fruitful person, a productive person, right, and there's results, right? You are producing results, and it's evident that you are doing your work. Listen, go and negotiate your value. Go back and say, hey, this is what I offer here. This is what I'm doing here. And before I was here, this were the results. But now that I'm here, look at the changes. I deserve a raise. I deserve a promotion. I'm telling you the truth. If you don't do that, some people will purposefully ignore your value. Some people do that. They will purposefully say, they will even get intimidated and jealous of your value. They say, they're doing too much. Why they, who do they think they are? Well, I'm a competent person who's really driven and successful. So go and negotiate your value. Sit down. Sit the people. Please. It's so important that you do this. Don't just become a fruitful and give high value, but you don't know how to negotiate for your value. Negotiate for your value so that you can get value in return. All right. So many things that I shared with you. But I wanted to also inspire you because the last part, if you remember, I gave you the framework that will help you succeed. So if you are not part of the last session, I will say go to the platform, go watch that session. So as I said, it's critical, ladies and gentlemen, as I close it off, be a competent person, give high value, but negotiate for your value. Do not allow the world to take you for granted. Do not allow that to happen. So I'm asking you today, when you look at yourself, who do you see? Do you see a successful person, a capable person who makes the best out of the opportunity, or are you taking them for granted? Because your life and your success is all on you. So as you leave this session, when you leave this session, please look at those three things. Look at your internal factors. Do you have the right qualities for the vision that you have? Look at the external factors. Can you identify opportunities that will help you express your values, that will help you express your qualities? Number three, are you in a journey that truly satisfies you or not? Right? Are you in that journey? And right now, I want you to make that reflection. This journey that you've chosen right now, does it really satisfy you or not? Is this what you always wanted or not? If not, let's go make some changes. So with that being said, I'll open for some questions. Back to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Neil, for such an insightful session. We really do appreciate it. We have a question from Sia Bonga. What can be done about the midterm programs internship that end when aiming for a successful life? Do you plan for professional breaks and how?
All right, very, very important question. Remember, you have opportunity to develop yourself, right? But you also need to define that development to say, this is, I want to get to level 10 or to level 5. So when you get an internship, you need to first ask yourself a question. Will it play a role in developing me? And how far can this internship take me? Right? Is this the organization that I want to work for? Sometimes it might be the organization that you don't want to work for, but the opportunity presented, maybe the internship that you see right there, is the set of skills that you're going to need to become more competent, to build your internal qualities. You know, if the internship offers that, I'll say go for it. But how do you manage it? You manage it by saying, okay, I want to get to level 5. This internship can only help me get to level 5 or to level 10. And once you get there, you get you go off. But don't see it really as a professional break, but see it as a development. You are taking this opportunity to develop yourself, to learn about corporates, to understand how profession works, to understand how different system works. And in gaining that knowledge, you need to have a boundary to say, okay, I'm not going to skip 4 years in this internship. I'm not going to skip 3 years in this internship, but I want to learn for the next 4 years. I want to learn for the next 2 years, right? So that's how you manage it, right? You basically say, all right, this is the internship that I received now. Will it, before you even take it, question, will it equip me? Will I learn what I need to learn in order for me to really pursue what I want? If the answer is yes, that's a great opportunity. That's a great platform. You go into that space, but you set boundaries. I'm not going for 5 years. If it helps me get to this level after this 1 year, then I'm done with this internship. I'm good, and I'm going to seek other opportunities. Sometimes I'll always say, when you are in an internship, don't get trapped in it, because some companies they like to do that. Internship, and not offer real opportunities where you literally become a permanent employee or something. So what you do is, while you are in the internship, you also apply, you also speak to other organizations. You don't allow yourself to be trapped in that one organization, but you explore other opportunities, right? You go talk to other people, right, where you know your value will be recognized. I hope that has answered your question.